Hi, friends. This is the math lesson for second grade. We are going to continue Unit 5, Lesson 2. Yesterday, we stopped a little bit earlier in our lesson because I just felt like it was getting to be a lot. So, yesterday, we learned how to write the digital time when we looked at clocks. Today, what we're going to do is we are going to take the digital time and draw the hands on the clock. So, make sure that you have your pencil and page 231 in front of you. Now, it is very important that you practice how to draw these. You need to take your time and you need to make sure that your arrows are pointing where they need to point. So, if you look on this page, we only have 1 o'clock time. So, let's start there because that one is a little different than all of our other ones. So, we know that at the o'clock time, so we're jumping down to number 21. When it's o'clock, the long minute hand points exactly to the 12. And I always like my minute hand to touch the number. That way I can guarantee it's going to be the longer hand. And then I know that for the hour hand, when I have an o'clock, it's pointing right at the 8, but it's shorter. So I want to make sure that it's pointing at the 8, but it does look shorter than my minute hand. All right, now that we got that one out of the way, let's get started on all the other ones. So what we're going to do is we can't draw it exactly how it is. So how sometimes it's closer to the 10 or sometimes it's closer to the 8. We are just going to draw our hour hand between the 2 hours that it is supposed to be. So if you have 10, I know that it's not going to be looking at my 10 because it already passed 10 o'clock. So my shorthand is going to be between my 10 and my 11. If I extended my arrow, I can see that it's between the 10 and the 11. So why don't we just focus on the hour hands for each of these? So again, it already passed 9 o'clock and it's going towards 10 o'clock. So my hour hand here is going to be between 9 and 10. Let's look at number 16. On number 16, we have it already passed 2 o'clock. It's 2:25. So I'm going to draw my hour hand between the 2 and the 3, just like that. Make it short. You're not touching any of the numbers. And number 17, it's 4:50. So it's almost 5, but not quite yet. So I need to draw it between my 4 and my 5. Whoops, make that a little neater. And it is still pretty short. Okay, now let's go back and do the minutes. So for our minutes, you're going to touch the number. And you're pointing at exactly at a number because these are all count by fives. So if I have the number 35, I'm going to count by fives until I get to 35. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So I'm going to draw my arrow all the way and touch the 7. So here it is, 10, 35. Next one, 9, 20. So I'm going to draw my arrow hand to the 20, which is 5, 10, 15, 20, right there at the 4. So I'm going to draw my arrow. I'm going to touch the 4, and there we go. Why don't you try number 16 and number 17 on your own? You're going to draw the 25 and the 50. Okay, so we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it should be pointing and touching the 5. And then we have 50. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, all the way to that 10, which is 50. Okay, one row done. Let's keep on going. So I think it's helpful to just do the hour hands. So let's just focus on the hour hands, getting used to drawing those, and then we'll switch to minutes. So we have 7:05. I know that 7:05, it has already passed 7 o'clock and it's moving towards the 8. So that tells me that my hour hand is between the 7 and the 8. So my short hour hand between the 7 and the 8. Now I am moving on to the next one. So we have 3:30. Well, I know it already passed the 3 and it's going closer to the 4. So I'm going to draw them between my 3 and my 4 for that one. Number 20, we have 5:50. So I know it already passed 5 and it's going towards the 6. So between 5 and 6. And then we did number 21. If you want to try the minutes on your own, please feel free. We have 05. So that is pointing and touching the 1. Mine looks a little off, but that's okay. So we have 3:30. So I know the 30 is pointing and touching the 6. And then I have 5:50. So that is all the way to the 10, just like we did on number 17. So I'm going to touch the 10. You guys are doing great. All right, last row. If you want to give it a shot on your own, please do. I encourage you to at least try. And if you get stuck, then press play on the video and I can help you. So let's focus on the hours. So we have 10:15. So it already passed 10 o'clock. It's going towards 11 o'clock. So it's going to be between the 10 and the 11, short hour hand. I am on the next one, which is 12:25. So it already passed 12 o'clock and it's moving on to 1. So I'm going to do between 12 and 1. Number 24, we have 3:55. So it already passed 3 o'clock. It's almost to 4 o'clock. So we are going to do between the 3 and the 4. And then we have 4:30. So it already passed 4 o'clock and it's moving towards 5 o'clock. So between the 4 and the 5. Now, if you're ready to try the minutes on your own, if you still did the hours with me, please go ahead and do the minutes. Press play when you're ready. So number 22, we have 10:15. So that means I'm going to point it exactly at my 3, 5, 10, 15. On number 23, we have 12:25. So if I count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. There we go. Number 24, I have 3:55. So I'm going to go all the way around. That 55 is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, pointing directly at the 11. And last but not least, we have 4:30. And I have it, maybe you have it memorized, that the 30 is the halfway point, which means it points directly at the 6. Excellent job, my friends. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with Puzzled Penguin. Poor Puzzled Penguin. He says, did I make a mistake? So he says, he reads this clock and he says that it is 5:55. So let's check it out. Let's start by looking at our minutes. So here's my minute hand and it's pointing directly at the 11. Let's count and see if his minutes are right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So his minutes are right. And that makes sense because the minutes are typically a little bit easier to figure out. The hour hand is where it can be kind of tricky. So let's take a look at his hour hand. If you extend his arrow is between the 4 and the 5. So he thinks it's 5 o'clock. But my friends in Mrs. Peterson's class, you guys are way too smart. You know that it's not quite 5 o'clock yet. Puzzled Penguin? Since it's between the 4 and the 5, we always have to choose the one that it already passed, which would be the 4. So instead of 555 Puzzled Penguin, it's 455. Good try. That one can be kind of tricky. Better luck next time. Okay, for the next ones, we are going to look at AM and PM. We're going to take a break from drawing clocks and writing the digital time, but now we are going to focus on AM and PM. And I know that AM and PM can be kind of confusing. AM is always reads as in the morning, and PM can either read in the afternoon or in the evening. So in my opinion, it is best to read them as 5:30 in the morning or 5:30 in the evening or afternoon. So when would you have a picnic? Would you have a picnic at 5:30 in the morning? No, of course not. So you would have one at 5:30 in the evening. When would you have school recess? 10 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the evening or at night? No, in the morning, right? Okay, I want you to try the rest of these on your own. Really take your time, read them carefully. You're gonna determine afternoon snack, going to the playground, lunch, sunset, that's when the sun goes down, when you wake up, and when you have math. Not when we have math, that's not our schedule. Okay, pause the video and go. Okay, my friends. So we have afternoon snack, 3:15 in the morning. No, 3:15 in the afternoon. Going to the playground, would you go at 9:25 in the morning? Maybe. Or 9:25 at night? Not when it's dark. Oops, started to circle the wrong one. So 9:25 in the morning. Lunch. Would you have lunch at 12:10 in the morning? Nope. You should be sleeping. 12:10 in the afternoon. That's like right after noon. Sunset. 7:05 in the morning or 7:05 in the evening? 7:05 in the evening, especially now that we changed our clocks again. Would you wake up at 6:45 in the morning or 6:45 in the evening? Well, if you're not taking a nap, you're definitely waking up at 6:45 in the morning. And last but not least, like I said, this is not our math class, but math class, would it be at 8:30 in the morning? Maybe, or 8:30 at night? Ooh, probably 8:30 in the morning. Maybe 8:30 at night if you were in college, but we would have it at 8:30 in the morning. All right, my friends, great job today. I will see you in small groups.